feds won't let go. Money never sleeps when you're the Black Gordon Gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes, I feel special. Resale and I never pay retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells, and that then courted me a V12.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden Night.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dee Ford in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production. But I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, it's Rosen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They go play action here on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The pass rush specialist, Dee Ford, in on the stop.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On the return is Peterson. Just a net of 34 there, following a punt of 44 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
On third down, Rosen. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. It's caught. Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. And they've got it here with a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They run with Ajayi. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now it's Ajayi. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Here's Rosen, complete to Jones. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you get to the red zone, if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Carolina getting set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
This is McCaffrey on the give, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, Newton. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Newton. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw is Newton. And right with it here over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air again, Newton. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Again, Newton. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. That'll bring up second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Throwing again is Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. The Panthers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Newton throwing again. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. So we've reached, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now it's Newton. High throw, but he makes the catch. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Newton. And his pass incomplete. Jamar Taylor there on the coverage. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll begin the drive with a jive. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Mario Addison in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Now it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give them the yardage they needed.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From his end zone, Newton on 3rd and long. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. Keep in mind he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
On second down, here's Rosen. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Cardinals on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Butker able to put this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They run again on first down. Anderson. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Here we go.
McCaffrey on the counter. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Rosen on 1st and 10. That is incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. The left side completion to Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Cardinals on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left. It's caught inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run again with Ajayi. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the gun, here's Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Flush to his right. Oh, Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Ajayi. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. pretty good arm, too.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now they'll run on the draw. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Back to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. He's back to throw. And Olsen over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's right. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's right. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses that are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Detroit! Detroit!
And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. This complete to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Rosen to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get them home free.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run with a J. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. Well, Charles, the old